what's happening? This is Joshua Boetsi and you're watching Sporting Icons.
So February the 23rd at the O2 Arena, ITV Boxoffice PPV. James Degale, the former IBF World Super Middleweight Champion, going up against Chris Eubank Jr, the former IBO World Middleweight Champion. It's a fight that's been building for a number of years and now we get it. And it's been almost billed now, courtesy of James Degale, saying that this is a retirement fight for both of these guys. So whoever loses, where else can they go? So just by James Degale saying that will pretty much say if he loses, then this will be his final fight. If Chris Eubank Jr loses, Chris Eubank Jr didn't bite to it, so listen, if he loses, he'll probably carry on. But you know, he's young enough to carry on. And James Degale, of course, has been hampered by injuries over the last few years. Now, James Degale, he did give up his IBF world title a little while ago after he lost it to Caleb Truax on his homecoming to the UK. And then he travelled to America and won it back and then subsequently vacated it. With Chris Eubank Jr, he lost his IBO world title to George Groves in the semi-final of the World Boxing Super Series. In a very good fight where George Groves dominated him, really. So this is a fight that's intriguing, to say the least. Now, James Degale in the press conference, so big up to Rob for sending me the link so I could watch it live. And the press conference was quite interesting. James Degale was the more animated of the two, the more jovial, the more I'm going to end you kind of talk. And for those of you who don't know, now you will, that ITV have recently announced a deal with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, run by Haymon. So this is great news for us in the UK. Of course, ITV will be showing the Manny Pacquiao fight and Adrian Broner. And this one here will be the first one on UK soil promoted by the PBC. So this is their home debut, I suppose you could say, for the PBC and Haymon. And it's an interesting one, that's for sure. Is it pay-per-view? Sure, why not? But again, a lot of it would be dependent on the price. ITV have historically so far, at least with Chris Eubank Jr, they've shown quite a few of his fights. And of course with the World Boxing Super Series, where the prices have been pretty reasonable. Around about £16, which is cheaper than what BT and Sky Sports do. But again, I think a lot of this will be dependent on the undercard as well as. So February 23rd at the O2 Arena, and so that's what, 7 weeks away now or thereabouts. It is an interesting fight, and it's a fight that I'm intrigued by. I told you guys probably 2-3 months ago that this fight was going to happen. Somebody had already told me that it was done, and things were just waiting for James Degale, Chris Eubank Jr to sign management forms with Haymon and the PBC. So that's all done now, and of course I had to wait for the ITV deal to be done as well as. So in this press conference, James Degale was pretty adamant that he's going to end him. Very, very confident mood. But James Degale, I like James Degale and I like Chris Eubank Jr. I like both of these guys. But James Degale was more in the mood of, I'm just going to end you, is what's going to happen. You know, the two times that you've stepped up, Billy Joe Saunders and George Groves, you've choked. But, of course, you could argue as well that James Degale, he did also lose to George Groves, so they do have that loss in common. But it's a fight that I'm really looking forward to. And Chris Eubank Jr, he was his typical laid-back kind of self, and he did give in something, and he did concede that maybe he wasn't doing things right before, where he was self-trained. Okay, of course he does have like a Ronnie Davis now with him, but Ronnie, as Ronnie said there as well, he doesn't really do the pad work because his hands are all shot and all that kind of thing. So Chris Eubank Jr now has another trainer. He wasn't with him today at the press conference, but he now has a full-time trainer. So he has taken that on board. So a lot of criticism that the fans were giving him was, why would you be training yourself? Why are you just looking for advice from your dad? Things like that. You need a coach, a trainer, to show you how to do certain things at certain times and advice in the corner of what it is that you're doing right and what it is that you're doing wrong. Because as much as Ronnie Davis, of course, has lots of experience, but he's almost like left to the side, which is unfortunate. I always felt bad for him. But of course, his dad, who's been around the block on several occasions, as we all know, he's a fantastic ambassador for British boxing over the years. But it's one thing to do it yourself in the ring. It's another thing to verbally explain how to do it. It's nothing to break down a fight and say, right, okay, so your opponent's doing this and you need to adjust to this and do that. Maybe he's not as good as, but who knows? But either way, Chris Eubank Jr. does have another trainer. His name does escape me, so I do apologise. But this is a real interesting one. As I said, James Degale saying that this is a retirement fight. And potentially he's right in what he says, because for one of these guys to lose, it's a case of where do you go? Especially for James Degale at his age. Listen, he's not an old man, but the injuries and the mileage on the clock, because he's been through some wars. And a lot of it, I have to be brutally honest, is his own doing. I mean, against like a Porky Medina and that, should never have gone the distance, you know, and he spent too much time trying to put on a great fight so the fans remember it, which is great for what he's doing to the fans, but it's going to add a lot of miles to the clock, and that's inevitably is what's happened. But these guys have had a bit of a tune-up fight, I suppose. James Degale, of course, he went over to America a couple of months ago there to fight on the undercard. I forget whose undercard it was now, to be honest. And Chris Eubank Jr. was on the undercard of Callum Smith and George Groves against JJ McDonough as well. So these guys have had a bit of a tune-up. They've had plenty of rest now, so there should be no issues going into this fight with fatigue, overwork, or whatever it may be. So it's a fight I'm looking forward to. So big up to both of these guys for signing to make the fight, first of all, and of course with Haymon and the PBC for coming into the UK. For me, I'm excited about it. I'm not one of these kind of fans, predominantly the PBC fanboys who don't want any other promotion company in the world. They just want PBC. For me, I'm happy with anybody who wants to come in and put on boxing shows for the British fans. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this fight. You drop your thoughts below about it. Who's going to win? Is it really a retirement fight? Where can either one of these guys go for whoever loses? But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens on the night. So February 23rd, O2 Arena. If you guys are going to be going, I don't know when your tickets are available. I don't know. But if not, ITV Boxoffice. Again, we're still waiting on the price, unless that's been released and I've just totally missed it. Who knows? So anyway, hope you're all excited about the fight. If you are, great, let me know. If you're not, again, let me know, all that kind of thing. Drop your thoughts below, click the thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.